This weekend, Ryan goes to hell, Andy is also hanging with demons, and we try to drill our way there on the GBA. I'm Ryan.
I'm Andy.
And this is Weekend Rental, episode 214. All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode. Weekend Rental. Andy, how you been doing?
Oh my gosh, I think we've both been incredibly busy doing different projects involving our homes.
Yeah, home ownership is hell, isn't it?
Yeah, you could say that. Still trying to finish my basement. We've started on week 2 of painting now, and I've gotten to the point where next time I'm just going to hire somebody to paint because it's just too much of you do one thing and then it looks like crap, and then you redo it, and then it ends up hurting something at the part that you already did, and then you get a sprayer because that'll work, and that works good on one side, but then the overspray hits another spot that you have to do, and it just turns into a giant mess. So I've got about a complete professional kit to paint just about anything at this point. And I should be a professional by now, but
it's your side job, I guess, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but we had some of that issue here too. Like, obviously, the big focus has been like packing and moving stuff out. But I painted my entryway. I think we talked about it because you and I recorded our amazing movie time last week. But like, I had this weird thing where like the paint, which we used in a lot of spots in the house, reacted weird in the entryway and like bubbled up like a bad vinyl like sticker over something. And then so like, yeah, that should have been like a 2-hour area of painting, and then it bubbled up, and not only did it bubble up in some spots, but it ate through the paint under it plus the wall texture. So then I had to re-mud, re-sand, retexture, repaint. And good Lord, I took if anyone's watching the video feed, you can see behind me that I have white walls, which has been occupied by thousands of games. So I took last Friday off, I'm air quoting, and I spent 12 hours just boxing and moving stuff out, cleaned up the garage. Saturday, we started on some of the projects, namely redoing the flooring in our bathroom into the hallway. And then fucking right off the bat with that shit, like got up early in the morning. I'm like, oh, let's knock this out. So I disconnect the sink. And then you know how it is with shut off valves in a house. Like rarely do they fully shut off. So right away, one of the sink shutoffs drips like fucking crazy. So like, I'm like, God damn it. So now I got to cap this thing. So I run to Menards, explain to the guy what I need. He's like, you don't just want to fix it? I'm like, no, I don't want to fix it because I'm going to put the sink back. I'm like, what do I cap it with? So he gives me that. Same thing happens with the toilet. That doesn't fully shut off. So I'm dealing with that. And then we realized that like, luckily the O-ring was leaking anyway under the toilet. So like, thank God I did this because like it would have been a problem. But so like instantly an extra trip to the hardware store. What should have been a fast project took me most of the day. Got it done. Looks nice. And then it was just like, by that time, with the day before and then that day, like I'm just go. So I'm not like really stopping to eat or drink anything. So by like mid-afternoon, like I think I'd gone to my second hardware store trip. Like I'm getting like stomach cramps just like sitting in my vehicle. I'm cramping up in my calves, heave-hoeing the toilet back on. And then, I got like a tight wall fit on the one side for like the bolt to bolt the toilet down. And I'm bolting it, my thumb's cramping like back up onto my hand. So like I'm having to like pry it back, force it back on the fucking crescent wrench. I was so over that shit. And like, yeah, I think we finished at like 9 that day. Sunday again, I just packed up until like 11 and woke up Monday morning feeling like a million times worse than I had started the weekend with. And that's my second weekend of this shit. But luckily I have my belongings packed and accounted for. And I basically am living in like an Airbnb situation where we're staging the house for photos this week and getting it listed. But I think I told you it was like kind of depressing packing up my garage. I text you and like, I actually got a little choked up because I was like, man, I worked really hard to get this how I wanted it. And like, I don't know about, maybe it's different for people who like grew up in a constant home, but like my dad moved us, not even like we didn't move towns necessarily, but we moved like every fucking 4 years of my existence. So like I'm like I've been here like 16 years. Like this is home. Like it feels so shitty to like be putting stuff away. And then just getting pissed at myself because I'm gonna guess conservatively I packed up 20, 27 gallon totes with my game collection. And that doesn't
Wow.
include what I'd already had in boxes in the garage and in the shed. And I just like what an eye-opening like thing to like how your hobby is just a disastrous disease. Like when you really like context it and look at it from that perspective. I was like opening boxes and pulling stuff out to pack, and I'm like, I didn't know I owned this. Like it's like what am I fucking doing? It was devastating. Like I'm gonna have to purge my collection because like it just I hate it almost at this point. Like pissed me off. World of Nintendo gone. Amiibo, get the fuck out of here. PlayStation, eat shit. Xbox, I'll keep you. The original Xbox. The rest, fuck off. Jaguar, you're stuck with me. I'm sorry, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's a lot when you see it all in a pile, a massive pile. It's just ugly.
Yeah. Mine is still packed up for the most part.
Yeah, I kind of have a plan for mine when we get to the new house. And it starts with NES and it starts with vintage Nintendo based consoles. And I don't know how much further it goes from there.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah,
okay with that.
Yep, definitely focus down. And I was pretty irritated with myself too, because I mean, I didn't even have a curated collection like you do, you know? So it was a bunch of just kind of leftovers of stuff that, why do I have this? You know, I
Yeah.
should just get rid of it.
Yeah. Do you have like even your arcade cabinets in your home yet?
No, they're still in the
Still in
garage.
storage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have them hooked up out in the shed, but that's about
Right.
it.
I don't know that mine will probably make it into storage. And once I finish out my basement in the new place, we'll probably end up there. But I did unload skee ball. I gave that to Biff because I was like, oh, he said he loved skee ball. I'm like, come take it, please. He's like, why?
Yeah.
I'm like, I just need it gone. So
Yep.
got rid of that. But yeah, I don't know. It really did something. Like I've already obviously for a couple of years now I've been talking about the need to pare down, and I have sold stuff off. But then when you see it all and like you start pulling out boxes and like just like the point where I was packing up my VCS that I had like, used once, that Atari VCS, and like never done anything with. And I told my wife, I was like, hey, go in the back and grab the VCS box. And she comes out with like the original 2600 VCS box. I was like, well, that's a fair mistake. But also I didn't know I had an Atari VCS box in the back room. Like, why do I have that?
Yeah, that's
And then realizing I had the collector's edition of Tears of the Kingdom that I didn't remember buying at all. I'm like, I didn't know I had this.
Huh.
Yeah. But I mean, it's cool too. You get to like, I got to pack up like some vintage stuff and like things that I don't look at often that are really cool. When I was like, the tote that I have, like the Virtual Boy and like my sports Sega Dreamcast and my Jaguarian, I'm like very fearful of. I was like, if anything happens to this, I'm gonna lose it. I'm like, this is all the good stuff right here.
Yep.
But I don't know. I think it will change how I look at buying and collecting forever at this point. Because, like I've said it for a while, like a lot of the stuff became just stuff to me instead of things I love. And I think it's time to very seriously get rid of stuff. So I think probably next year I might have to hit the vendor circuit and do like some cons and maybe like a flea market or something,
Mm-hmm.
which will be fun too. But
yeah,
the
that'll be about perfect timing that I need to do it too. So.
Well, we'll partner up. Yeah.
Yep.
And I won't buy shit from you this time if you mark it down. But like the amount of World of Nintendo stuff and Amiibo stuff and how much that took up. Like, God, when I got to my third tote of writing
Oh,
Amiibo on
yeah.
it, I was just like, I fucking want to kill myself. Like, what have I done with my life? But then that's the dilemma, right? Is like, do you keep them on card and sell them, or do you just bust them all out of the plastic and they take up like 1/8 of the space?
Ooh, yeah, that's a good point. Hmm. Would you would you put them up for display then?
I'd have to, yeah.
Yeah.
But I just like the way they display on the cardboard. But there's no fucking way I'm doing that in my next house. Like, it's not gonna happen. Not doing it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's been ongoing hell for me. We had the realtor out today. Well, that's what we needed to change for staging. Got done like spraying the house, like house washing at like dark tonight. So I'm exhausted mentally and physically. Too
Yeah.
old for this shit. And I got like 4 more weeks of this crap.
Yeah, you're just starting.
Yeah.
I think my biggest problem is like I get geared up and like weekends here, this is the stuff we're getting done. And then it's like anything that deviates from how it is supposed to go
Hmm.
just throws the whole thing. Like I just have no patience after
Yeah.
that. I just like need to account to be like, remember, add 50% more time to
Oh,
everything that you
at
think you're
least.
going to do. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been stressful. But I think well, the kids have like this next Friday and Monday off, which I took off because we're going to do like something together as a family. But that'll give me a really long weekend to just like hammer out what's left. And hopefully at that point, I can take a chill pill. I'm hoping by Sunday I'm done-ish and then we can just relax because
Hmm.
fuck, it's been a lot. And like the
Yeah.
worst part too is like fixing everything up to leave it, right? It's like I'm doing all this work that I put off because like I'll get to it, but now I'm making it nice for some other asshole to move into.
Yep.
I mean, please
I
move in.
mean,
Buy my house. It's a very good deal in a great neighborhood. But
yep. Yeah. I think it's always like that. You're kicking yourself that you didn't make these upgrades when you actually live there.
yeah. Yeah, my kids are like, "Oh, the basement looks so great with all the games, without all the game stuff in it." Then we cleared out like a bunch of stuff in the living room. And my wife's like, "Oh wow, this looks really good." I'm like, "Yep, sure does." Too bad we didn't live like this. So, but yeah, I'm just dreading like getting in the other end and having to move and unpack and like do the painting. And I'll be in your you. I'll hire you. You come do painting. I did. What's funny is like I have a window pane that got broke like years ago, but I was just like, oh, I'll get to it eventually. But like had to get to it now. And I got an estimate from the guy and like made sure it was okay. Like I checked, Google AI, so it must be accurate. But his quote was reasonable. But he broke it down. He's like 150 for the glass, like 2 hours of labor, 250. Like 2 hours of labor, 250. I'm like, I should be a glass installation guy.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit! What are you? That's like programming rates. Like, are you doing custom development on my window or what?
Yeah.
So
I pretty much any skilled like electricians, especially like just holy shit, the amount of money that they
yeah,
charge per hour now. It's pretty much all the trades are that way.
should have stuck with it. I did all that stuff before, during, and after college, and then
Hmm.
it's fun being a contractor until you're working outside and it's fucking 15 degrees, and then you're like, I should just get a job inside now.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well, if my painting business takes off, I guess
there you go.
I'll be able to charge some money for that. But
It's a good gig. You been playing or watching anything since we talked last?
few things. Well, I had jury duty
Jury
also.
duty. Yeah, that's right. You
Yes.
had. How was that? You doing your civic
Um,
duty?
Not very encouraging, I will say. Um, you go there and be like, yes, you're doing your duty. You don't want to be there, but it's like, hey, this is, if I got on trial or something, I'd want this system, right? Due process.
Yeah. Not that
It's the
that
American
exists in
dream.
all aspects of American culture anymore, but
Right. Right. So I get called in And just, for jury selection, they just have to pick the jury. And we sat there for about 5 hours and kind of in the dark. They were just, what's going on? Had no clue why it's taking so long. The people that are managing the jury were like, I've never seen this in 20 years. This is ridiculous. It's like 2 PM. Finally, somebody comes out into the court. The judge comes in and says, all right, so this is what's been happening. This case has a different language speaker, so we needed 2 different interpreters per
Sure.
whatever. One of them was 2 hours late. The other one never even showed up. So, in the meantime that they were all waiting, the defendant decided to just plead guilty.
That's so crazy, especially since they should have known that all they had to do was call ICE and this whole thing was solved anyway. They didn't need a trial.
Yeah, just get rid of the problem right away, I guess. I don't know. But it's just kind of disappointing that it's like, obviously the court is probably responsible for getting these interpreters there.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't do it. Or, it just didn't happen. So they get a bunch of free extra time to grill the defendant and
Right.
get him to flip over. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. I mean, it's cool that they do like the 2 interpreters. I guess that makes like sense, right? Like you can't just trust like one person's understanding. But yeah, I've never heard of something like that. It's kind of crazy. Do you still like get credit then at least for showing up to it, so they don't have to call you like in 6 months and send you another like summons?
Well, I'm still on the clock for another case, potentially.
Oh no.
For another month or so. I haven't been called in for one, but I did get $20.
Oh, so, that's good.
Yeah.
You can supersize with that.
It was definitely worth
it. I suppose you got paid though, right? Because like your work has to pay you for like jury duty time. Well, your salary, I'd imagine anyway. So like it's not a big deal.
Yeah, I had to sit there and wait about a half hour just to get the certificate saying what it was, and then your job pays you the difference, and it's like I could have got paid more not waiting in this line. Just yeah.
It's like barely an hour of minimum wage.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, but
sounds like fun. Yeah, I haven't gamed, shockingly, but I did finish binging Twisted Metal Season 2, which I think, I don't know if it's as interesting as Season 1, but it's more like in line with the game because it's like the actual tournament. And then they introduced Calypso, who's played by the guy who was Hank in Barry, and he is like just the perfect guy to be Calypso. Like just creepy and like kind of charismatic. But it's pretty good. I mean, it's got some stuff that's like weird and like they kind of gloss over some things kind of quickly, but like it's cool to see the tournament actually take place, and Sweet Tooth's character development is pretty good in this one. The only thing that like pissed me off was like I think it's a 12 episode run, and I am watching it. I don't have Peacock, so I'm watching it on Plex. And for whatever reason, they have every episode on there except 11. So I know who won the tournament, but I don't really know how. But I still got through it and enjoyed it. It's pretty. It maintains the like gore and like sense of comedy and just like zaniness that I think that's what Twisted Metal is, right? So,
does it, now that it's a tournament, does it really get into like the monkey's paw, like endings type thing when people die or do something? Or
yes, the winner did get correctly boned, just like he would. Okay. And I think well, I mean, depending on like how long they get to continue the show, I think they are building on the lore of like Sweet Tooth or Sweet Tooth is Calypso. Like that's kind of like the running like story arc behind the scenes. Is that like it's just an alter ego of Sweet Tooth.
Okay.
Because they kind of like laid the seed that Sweet Tooth, he's got like his buddy along with him. He's like, why don't you just like hold a contest and prove like you're the best murderer? And all of a sudden, like the contest shows up, like with Calypso, like announcing it. So it's like, I think they might lean into that canon, but I don't know that they'll get greenlit to get far enough along in this story. They did set it up for a season 3, which again came kind of like you've mentioned as like part of a like bittersweet reward. We'll see whether or not we get another season. I'm kind of doubtful. Like I can't imagine this is a cheap show to produce, and I doubt that it really has that many views. The fact that I got a second season is kind of impressive to me. They also did the thing again where the cover of the game art for the second game followed like in the first one had the first game. So I thought that was cool, but
Yep.
yeah. Axel being introduced is fucking cool. He's a really good character.
Yeah, how did they do that in the show? Is it straight up what it is? At what Axel is?
It's straight up Axel. He he can get out of the machine though, but there is something that happens in the battle that would fuse him to the machine, which is kind of like what he is in the game, right? So I think if they get a season 3, he'll come back and he'll be stuck in his machine. He's got kind of like a funny story arc too, where like he's addicted. Like he doesn't have a drinking problem, but he's a drinking problem. Like he just straight drinks gasoline. He's like, I need the gas. I need it for my power. So they like have an intervention with Axel. They're like, no, you can totally murder dudes without drinking gas, dude. You don't need it. It's all inside you. And like, it's dumb, but yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, I'm shocked that they, well, it's even a thing to begin with, but that they had a season 2, because that first one I enjoyed it, but I didn't. They were slow playing it so much that it was like, I don't know if you're going to be able to accomplish the whole arc that you want to, you know.
Well, and I feel like people were talking about that one. I don't feel like anybody really brought up, for the most part, that this got a second season. Like I've heard very few comments, or even on podcasts. I think maybe one other podcast I've listened to, they mentioned it. But yeah, it keeps up the same quality. It's just a little different tone, but it's mostly still there.
Huh. Yeah, I'm when I get some time, I'm gonna certainly check that out.
Yeah, it's very bingeable.
I've been watching a YouTube channel just because now it's October, getting into the Halloween spirit. It's
Monster
one that
Madness?
I just stumbled. Oh boy, is that?
I don't know.
Yeah,
if
is he
it's
doing
still
that
going.
this year?
I don't know.
I don't
Maybe.
know.
Sorry.
It's a YouTube channel called Chilling Scares, and it is very much like clickbaity, like top 5 whatever weird things that are going on, right? And it just turns into kind of a rabbit hole because a lot of the stuff that he's talking about is super interesting. A lot of it is kind of just weird stuff that you obviously is a prank or not real or a hoax. But some of it is really entertaining, I think. And it varies quite a bit. You know, a lot of it is kind of the unsolved mysteries style of how did this happen?
Yeah.
But it's that style in a YouTube generation where all these people are recording themselves a lot more. So the weird stuff that's happening is on camera, you know?
Yep.
So it's really weird. I think one of the creepiest ones is, you know, urban explorers are kind of a big thing on YouTube where they go into all these abandoned buildings. And then when they end up finding squatters just being the creepiest thing.
Yep.
Those are like kind of terrifying. You know, it's kind of like the found footage movies.
Yeah.
That you see, like Blair Witch obviously was kind of like the guy in the corner or whatever, but it's like that in real life, kind of. It's kind of creepy. And I'm sure some of those are fake too, but
you know that like there's a good amount of those that are real though, where it's like 2 dudes or maybe 1 dude and like, yeah, there's a tweaker like in an abandoned building. Like, I'd lose my shit too. Like,
Yep.
So is this more like one story at a time, or is it always like a top five, like scary, like this
Yeah,
type
it's
of?
usually like 5 or 6 things that he
Okay.
goes through in 15, 20 minutes or something like that.
Yeah. I love those kind of channels. I used to watch like Slapped Ham, I think it's called. He does like a bunch of those things too, where it's like top five of the week or whatever. And it's like, yeah, like 90% of it is like you're watching it and you're like, oh, that's clearly nothing. But then there's some where you're just like, I don't know, like something fucked up happened there. Like even if it
Yep.
is a human, like I'd shit my pants too. You know what I mean?
Yep. 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 Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, a
those
big
are
one
always
is
good.
like the ones that always get me, like, obviously, I feel like are just people messing around is, it'll be like doorbell cameras of just like creepy people being outside of
Yeah.
people's doorbells. And, I think a lot of that comes to the black and white or the, the night vision stuff makes things creepier already
Right.
just because your eyes glow and a whole bunch of stuff like that. But, I think it's just a lot of just people messing with people, other people, even if
Yeah.
it's but as this channel is trying to pitch is it's like, oh, they always have dangerous intentions, or whatever.
Yeah. I think some of my favorite ones are always like there's always like a few sprinkled in where it's like the solo van lifers. It's just like, wow, they parked in like
Oh yeah.
some unassuming spot in like beautiful old England and like all this weird shit starts happening. And it's just like, yeah, I'd probably shit my pants too if I was alone in my car and like
Yeah.
3 a.m, somebody's like screaming outside.
But it's like somebody on the
Oh,
way home from the bar and they're like, oh, look
yeah.
at that van. Let's pull over and knock on the doors and pound on the windows. So,
Yeah. But you're like, if I was in that situation, I'd be screaming too.
yep. Yep.
Yeah. Stuff's always fun. Yeah. And you're right. Like it is like with the advent of like social media and like filming and stuff, like there is a lot of that sort of like it does come off very Blair Witchish.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. What was the channel?
Chilling scares.
Okay, I'll have to check that out. 'Tis the season.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a less chilling scare. So my son and I have been working through Friday the 13th, which is mostly, like I've said, just a lot of me telling him like not to look at the TV because there's boobs out. But we finished like the last what I would consider like true Friday the 13th, which is Jason Takes Manhattan. And then it goes several years forward and you get into Jason Goes to Hell, which I'm sure if you're our age, that cover art is burned into your brain from a kid because it's the Jason mask with the flames, like the weird snake thing coming through.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that I'd ever actually watched that movie. That movie fucking sucks. My son thought it was the best one, but he's crazy. But
Huh.
essentially, like Jason dies, and then he can just like reincarnate, like and possess other people. So he's just constantly like taking over different people and like French kissing them to like take over their bodies. And but I mean, it's not like Jason taking over like his. I guess like it's kind of like in the earlier films, it's kind of just assumed that like crazy people or people he has disturbed have just like taken on his persona and psyche as a result of their trauma, where this is like straight up just possession. And then it's a newer film in the 90s, so it's shot a lot different. And then there's like a bounty hunter guy that claims he knows how to end this once and for all. And he's like, Jason Voorhees can only be killed by a Voorhees. So if you have his blood in him and you use a special knife and you stab him in the heart, you can send him to hell. He's like, he's going to hunt down every last member of his family and kill them all off. I'm like, all right, if that was the case, what happened in the last 10 years of movies where he clearly wasn't preoccupied with this whole thing? So it's almost like more of a possession, like who's the bad guy type film than it is, which doesn't make it a bad horror movie. It just makes it, in my opinion, not a Jason movie. And then there's like a scene near the end where there's like a little like fetal, like no legged Jason creature running around. And I don't know, man. The movie is really, really bad. Did not like it.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that one. I mean, I remember the New York one, and that
That
just
one's
I
good.
remember. Yeah, the only thing about that, I feel like there wasn't enough. You just expected him to be in New York the whole time, and
Right. He's there for like 10 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. But
also, that one doesn't make sense too because they pinned down that girl, those two junkies, and they're gonna rape her. They like shoot her up with like what I assume is like heroin or meth or something. But then, like, as soon as she escapes, she's not high the rest of the movie, which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure he'd be like passed out, but what do I know? Also, probably has HIV. Yeah, adrenaline. Yeah, yeah. So I think like I don't know. Like, I'm gonna continue watching them with him, but I think like I think you jumped the shark after the Manhattan one. Like, I think what those original films were I don't know, kind of what made them special. And I know what's coming up with like the remakes and the reboots, and I haven't seen, I don't think, Jason versus Freddy. I barely remember, what is it, Jason Goes to Space?
Yeah, there's one in space, right? Yeah.
That one I remember being really stupid, where he's like super shredder. But yeah. I think I might be off of them.
He's almost like the Splatterhouse guy in that one, I feel like. Yeah. They what do you think the dumbest franchise is? Because all of them are just like, they really struggle at keeping a consistent like lore to them.
Yeah.
And Freddy's pretty bad that way too. They're kind of all over the place.
I was gonna say the Nightmare on Elm Street ones I think are pretty like all over the place, but I don't know that it's any worse than Jason, to be honest. Like, I think they're probably both on par, right?
Yeah. And then Halloween, all those are
right
out there too, because the next one has a different completely
at least that's got the cool jingle.
Yeah.
Although I guess Jason's got that cha 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 thing. So
that's true.
Yeah. They're all, I mean, it's all flavors of the same shit, I guess. Except Hellraiser. Yeah. I guess if you're gonna throw Hellraiser in there, like those are all like really fucked up and gross in a special way.
But nowadays, I mean, you look at all of the like the Blumhouse stuff, all of that is so entangled, and they all have their lore, and it just keeps going on and on and on, to the point where you almost crave like how it was back then, where it's just like they didn't take it too seriously, where it's just like, well, now it's this, even if it is stupid. But
even if the rules are, if you show your tits, you die. If you have sex, you die. But like, I'll take that over like what we had, like, as we got older, like with the torture porn stuff, like Saw, and like that stuff's just trash. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't do it.
But exactly. Those were the ones that got so far up into like the lore stuff, right? That
and they're so,
it had to keep going.
So bad. Like, that's the last big one. I can't think of anything that's been like a horror powerhouse since then.
I think like Paranormal Activity and all of those type of movies are
Insidious. Yeah. I really liked the first couple Insidious, but no, there's just so many of them. I forgot about Paranormal Activity. They're done with those, right? Like there was like 5 of them or something.
I don't know. But those are the same thing. They, there's something in those movies that they spun off into a whole other thing. And
there's just something better about, like, in my opinion, like an on-screen like Psycho, instead of like The Thing You Can't See and like just weird parlor tricks. Like, no matter how well it's done, like it's not as cool as like the retro horror, like slasher flicks, I think. But that's just me.
Yeah.
But I don't know what else you got here.
I've been playing something really scary.
Oh, I think I see what it is.
It's the most inevitable thing possible to happen.
Text my kids about this right away when I saw it.
Yeah. The K-pop Demon Hunters are now in Fortnite, which seems like it took longer than it should have for something so obvious, right? But
they are such the perfect fit for that. Yeah. 100%, like, makes perfect sense to have that crossover. So do you get one of them as a skin, or is it all DLC you have to buy?
It's all stuff you have to buy. They're not in any of the battle passes, anything like that. And it's kind of strange. The music must be way too expensive to license, because
really?
You can't. It's in the game in certain spots when you're playing as them, but you cannot just buy the tracks or whatever, kind of like you can with other things
Like
in the
to
game.
dance. Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Huh. So do they add like any
Um,
new modes or is it just like the skin?
yeah. So they have a Horde Rush kind of mode now. Demon Rush, I think it's called.
Okay.
But it's a Horde mode of just kind of demons that go after you. Um, Nothing like incredibly mind blowing. You have to stay in the storm circle that constantly moves, and it'll stop, and then Horde comes at you,
Sure.
and then the storm moves some more, and then kind of guides you through the map, and you do different waves. But there is progression, so like you gain levels as you play more and more, and you end up with better starting bonuses. So like the next time you play,
Okay.
you have more health, you have more
So some
currency to
roguelike
upgrade your
stuff.
guns. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's cool.
So yeah, I've gotten to the final boss a few times. Cannot beat him, but I think that's kind of the point, is that you're supposed to keep
Try and
playing
try
until you
again.
build up your stats and bonuses enough to beat that.
Is it the
But
Flaming Lips guy?
no, I don't think so.
Oh, that's too bad.
No.
Yeah, I saw like the whole golden dome thing like in the trailer too. I was like, oh, that's a nice touch.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's the whole storm is actually like the in the regular game now is the whole moon or whatever, the wrinkly lines or
Yep.
whatever from the movie, which is pretty cool. But yeah, in that mode you can recruit one of the K-pop demon hunters, and they'll fight alongside you pretty much the entire time if you can keep them alive. But
It's
and
pretty
there's
cool.
a couple items like they usually do now. When they add a group of people or a group of IP, and they usually have a couple new items or weapons. So it's keeping things fresh. The thing about it is people who are really into that movie and then really enjoy this game mode, which I could see. I mean, there's probably a lot of kids who have never played a Horde Rush or a Horde mode
Yeah.
before, and just to know that eventually this will just be gone. Like that's the kind of
Right.
part that's so depressing about this, is that a kid could really fall in love with this and be like, this is a game that was part of my childhood and it's just going to be gone in a month.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I could see like not keeping the characters in DLC, like 'cause that's kind of the whole thing, right? You like lock them down, but why not keep a good game mode? Like if it's good, keep it going, right?
Yep. Yep.
Especially since that whole platform is just 80 million versions of like user created content in different modes at this
Oh
point
gosh.
anyway. It's like Roblox at this point.
Yeah. It's kind of not, and it's going to get worse because they did announce, I think, that they're going to start uh having items that you can buy in those creative games, and then the creators get a cut.
Oh,
So it's the whole
it
Roblox
is Roblox.
situation going to be happening in that. It's going to be
Interesting.
kind of wild, I think. Um, but the thing about that is they end up uh, there's certain IPs that are licensed for the creative stuff too. Like Ninja Turtles and Squid Games and a whole bunch of stuff like that, where they really give you the tools to just go wild with
Hmm.
those IPs too.
Yeah, and then how does that work? Like, does the cut go back to the IP holder? You would think so,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, you would think so. Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, I haven't asked my kids if they've checked it out. I told my daughter she could play it on my Switch too if she wanted, but I don't know if
Yeah,
they've done it. So my kid's been all about like buy me Black Ops 7. I'm like, no, I have Game Pass. I want to play it on PlayStation. Tough shit. I have it on Game Pass. Like, I'm gonna ask grandma for it. I'm like, fine, but we have it on Game Pass. Like, good lord.
the question is now, Ryan, how long will you have Game Pass?
Me personally, I will continue to have Game Pass for a long time because I do not buy Xbox Series X games. I do not intend to buy Xbox Series X games. Maybe at some point down the road, I will go to the lower $15 tier.
Mm-hmm.
I am less mad than I think most people, though, about $30 a month. I think it is a lot. I think they fucked up. I think they are killing what they had left of their brand. But at the same point, it's $10 a month just to play online games. So you're already $10 in. What's another 20? I mean, their tiers aren't really that much more egregious than what PlayStation's doing, right? It's just that Xbox Game Pass has been the gold standard. Um, but I can't deny that I think this puts them on very rocky ground at $30 a month, which is a 50% increase for Game Pass Ultimate going into this next generation, right? Especially when they launch their Rogue Ally handhelds, and that the X version is going to cost $1,000. So you're dropping $1,000 and paying like 300 and some dollars a year for access to these games, right? And PC Game Pass is going away, which is bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I guess I didn't hear that part. That's all going away as well. Huh.
That's what I heard. I could be wrong, but I thought they said it was going to be ending.
Okay. Okay. Huh. I that could be one of the things where it might be in the $30 tier and then the lower ones
Yeah,
go
that could
below.
be potentially, yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think I agree. I'm kind of right there with you where I'm going to continue doing it because for the most part, I would say the vast majority of my gaming is Game Pass games, and I
Mhm.
enjoy kind of just seeing what's coming, what new is out, what I'll try. The kids end up just playing an hour of a game here and there.
Mhm.
And there's some cool stuff that I would normally never probably find or download that I'll end up playing. But that said, $30 a month, especially when you look at it at $360 a year,
Yeah.
it's starting to, I mean, if you're not the power user, it really is time to recheck
Yeah, I mean
your subscription, I think.
that means that you have to be buying at least 5 AAA games at $80 a pop when they first come out, right? To get
Yep.
on par with what you're paying, and I'm not that person. I've never really been a day one buyer. So that's where I kind of think like maybe at some point I won't care and I'll go down to the medium tier because I'm mostly just going to it for Sea of Thieves and that sort of stuff. But every once in a while though, there is that like new like Doom. Like I jumped into that day one, and I don't know. I do think too like the the addition of like a future lower tier with ads is really gross. I think
Yeah.
it's very gross to put ads on. I mean, they already do stuff like on their homepage to say
Mhm.
like you're gonna have to watch an ad before you play this game in cloud is I don't know. It's very streaming, but it is a very foreign and kind of disgusting concept to me in the world of gaming.
Right. And if you can't do it in the middle of a game because that would be
Oh,
infuriating,
right.
when you're in the middle of a game. So then what is the point? Like, how much are you really gaining with a few ads at the very beginning of
Right.
a game session, right?
Yeah, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna do it like Tubi, where it's like, "Well, do you want to watch this ad free? Well, pick which one of these progressive insurance commercials you want to watch." And it's like,
Right.
am I gonna be hit with that? And I'm gonna have to sit through 2 minutes of whatever. I mean, I don't know. Like, I get where they're coming from with that idea, but it's a completely different media. Like, you just doesn't seem like it fits.
They'll just say that instead of a loading bar or, a download, you just watch ads instead for the same
Hmm,
amount of time as it would take to download.
that's true, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I This feels like the very first solid death nail in the coffin of Xbox. I mean, a, they've been on thin ice for at least 7 years now. I mean, or more. I mean, I kind of think that whole Xbox One generation was a miss, and they've done very little to bring anything of value back with this new generation. So, if you take the one thing that like you could brag about being an Xbox fan, I don't know. I think they've lost a lot of business. Like we talked about, I think you said the
Yeah.
website crashed for cancellation,
Yeah.
and
I mean, I was dead set on buying that handheld as long as under $1,000, and it at $1,000,
It's $1 too much.
I mean, it's not worth just having the Xbox because it's just running the Xbox PC stuff, so it's not even
Right.
like the console games that you're getting on there.
Right. So you could just at that point buy the OLED Steam Deck
Hmm.
and get through that through the other operating, put a Windows operating system on there and dual boot. And I
Maybe in
mean,
the long run,
maybe,
you're probably paying more if you were going to buy games
sure.
through Steam, but I mean, we're talking years, I would think, to catch up to the difference in price.
Yeah.
I
And I
guess
mean,
depending on the games you're buying, but
there is that cheaper version that's like 549, but like the the reality of like the spec and hardware difference is like it's fucking
yeah,
substantial, right? Like
yeah.
yeah, I think they've probably priced themselves out of the market with that. And then it's also weird too having like the Rogue Ally X version being exclusive to Best Buy. Um,
Oh, really? I didn't know that part. Huh.
yeah, yeah, I'd imagine Microsoft probably sells it to you directly too, but like I don't know that that's a smart choice. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously I still shop at Best Buy, but I mean, I never think like, oh, Best Buy is where I'm going to go get my stuff.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I
The
don't know. It feels like Microsoft doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. Like I'm more my real concern is like they bought up everything, right? Like they own so many devs now. If they go under, like that devastates the
hmm
gaming market.
Yeah. I mean, especially with Activision and all, yeah, yeah, that's that would be bad. And I guess the most disappointing part about this Game Pass stuff is like I that was the direction that they were going.
Right.
Like you could see all the other stuff, like they're opening up their things. I'm guessing the next Xbox is just going to be you can put Steam on. It's just going to be a computer.
Right.
Like if you're making a handheld in it, why wouldn't you just make your next console do that too?
Yeah.
Um, so there's nothing going to be real Xbox worthy, I would say, for that. And then you sit there and think, oh well, okay, but they have Game Pass, so like it all revolves around Game Pass. They're just trying to get you through the door
Yeah.
for Game Pass, and then they turn around and make it kind of prohibitive for a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
It's
it's weird.
and then I mean, I think what's more off-putting about it is just like the way they pitched it and like we've got exciting new changes. We heard what you asked for. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you were spewing like fire at people. Like, don't try to put a positive spin on this. Like, I don't
To
know.
be fair, this last month I've looked at that Fortnite battle, the Fortnite crew thing subscription, I should say, and it's like, if you just played Fortnite, this is worth it. And now it's going to be part of or Game Pass, so that part is a bonus to me already. That
Oh, so
money
that's
that I
that's
was,
going to be baked in.
yeah, in the top tier, you get
Okay.
the Fortnite subscription to all the battle passes in Fortnite, and then the other big one was all of Ubisoft's.
I mean, come on. How many Assassin's Creed games are you going to play? 80? Come on. There's nothing there.
I'm going to talk about one later, but yeah, there's I'll say there's probably not that's not like a thing like, oh, that's going to put me, that's
Right.
not going to be worth it. I mean, especially like what new is coming from Ubisoft. Like you said, it's just Assassin's Creed, right? But
Yeah. I do think them like divvying out more bonuses to you from the rewards program if you're an ultimate member is nice because like I'm pretty like ritualistic on like every day I log into the app, every day I play one round of Jewel so that I get my like whatever allotted points. And it's nice now that I'm getting ultimate bonuses on top of that. But when you look at what you can cash those rewards in for, like it's not great. Like it's not enough to like
yeah,
sway the needle at any point. But I don't know. I don't know. It makes me very wary of that brand and
Yeah.
what next
Well, I
gen
think
will be.
the scary thing is, that at some point AI we're going to get into AI generated games, right?
Hmm.
And I mean they're the ones in the best position to be making something like that.
It's true.
So, I don't know if that's their next push. I feel like a lot of people are vehemently against that type of thing, so I don't that could be a whole Xbox One fiasco again
Yeah,
all over again, but
I could see the industry not liking that.
mhm.
Seems like they've really pushed against like even just AI generated assets is like a big no no for a lot of these companies. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So what is the game then that you've been playing with Ubisoft? Is it an Assassin's Creed?
Yeah, it's my staff pick, so I'll have to
Oh,
get to
we're
that.
saving that for later. Okay. So what's your Sleeping Gods one?
That's a board game.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of an adventure style board game. Comes with a map. You play as different characters. If you're playing with different people, they choose which characters you're going to play as. They all have their own kind of special skills, and yeah, it's you're running through a scenario and kind of a choose your own adventure as you're going through this map. And a lot of it is skill checks. So you're rolling dice, and then you're picking the people on your team that would be best suited for that type of thing, and you're getting items and skills and whatever else, or bad things too sometimes if you don't make
Sure.
your skill checks. But overall, I like it quite a bit. It's kind of like D&D type of feeling to it, but the thing I don't like about D&D is how wide open it is, and there's just like, oh, you can do anything. Well, it's like I don't
Sure.
want to be creative about that, right? I
Right.
just want to have the story and maybe have a few options, right?
Yep.
Um, so it kind of gives you that, and there's a decent amount of strategy and mechanics in it that keep you at the edge of your toes, where you're always feeling like, you got which way should we go? This person's not doing so hot. Their health is really low. That type of thing.
Sounds
The
pretty cool.
combat in it is kind of weird. It's like a grid that you cover up different things. So things will be like one box will be part of his health, the other box will be like his attack points or like status effects. So like you can really when you do a certain amount of damage, you cover up that many boxes. So you have the option of like what you're doing and kind of taking away from the opponent, which is interesting. Although I think at the end we were just kind of like, this is kind of annoying. I don't know. Didn't really enjoy the part, but I think the system is interesting. It's kind of
Okay.
weird, but um, and there was a number of things that you come across something and it'll say, hey, do you have this item? If you do, you can do this,
Okay.
and we didn't have it. So like, there's some replayability maybe to go back and do it. I don't think I would, but it is. And this is a very small version that we played. It's called Sleeping Gods Primeval Peril, I think. But there's much larger versions of the game too that have different scenarios too. But
Sure. Is it one of those things where it's like the system so you can like build on, like you can combine different things or
I I don't know if you can combine them. I think they're kind of just more scenarios more than anything. You're
sure.
buying the scenarios to go through.
Gotcha.
I think it's different characters. Like you can't mix characters because they're different time and place altogether.
Okay.
Um, that's my
I
take on it. I don't know much about the other ones.
mean that has some
Um,
benefits though, like you said, like some confinement within a well crafted story is kind of nice.
yep, yep. I think I prefer. There's one called Freelancers, and they have a system called Crossroads, and there's a number of games that do that. I enjoyed that way better. It's similar to this, but it's app based, so it tells the story in the
Sure.
app, and then you press buttons, and it's also hilarious. It's very good writing. It's very funny. I think I would prefer that, but this one's very good too.
So I didn't put this down, but I was just going to touch on it because you reminded me with board games. But did you see that Vampire Survivors is getting a tabletop version?
Really?
Yeah, I think it's like
Huh.
crowdfunding right now for the initial run, but I'm curious to see what they would do with that. I'd imagine something similar kind of to this is what I'd envision, but no.
Right, because yeah, I would have to imagine it would be like you're getting the items and then you're finding the right combos, right? Like
Right.
that would have to be the main gameplay.
Yeah, you'd think there would be like a lot of like busted runs. Like, I mean, if they keep it true with what the game is,
Yep.
so it'd
Yep.
be kind of cool. Well,
Have you seen
if I
that
ever see
like
it on store
3D
shelves.
that 3D game? Oh gosh, what is it called? No, I don't know what it's called. It's something it's like a Vampire Survivors, but it's a 3D game
Oh no,
and it's got some crazy movement techniques that you can use in it.
is that coming
Gosh,
soon or it's out now? Or
it's out now. I forget what it's called. It's a really weird name. Wish I could remember what it was. But oh, the do you see that video that Nintendo put out today?
no, what did they put out?
It was just an animated video of a baby like using force powers on a whole bunch of stuff around his nursery
What?
with no indication what it means or anything. It was like a Pixar short of this baby, and they
Oh,
posted it on Twitter.
gonna have to watch this. That
So
sounds wild.
yeah, so it's been like, what does this mean? Is this you're getting into movies or shorts, or are you making a game out of this? There was no context to it at all.
Interesting. Pretty short, or
Yeah, it's only a couple minutes
okay.
long.
I'll have to watch it following this. It sounds very
But
out of place for Nintendo.
yeah, I think I mean, a lot of people are getting their hopes up that it's an Earthbound game because there's a lot of like
Oh
that
sure.
type of psychic powers, right? And the style is kind of that looking, um, but also I could be another Pikmin or something like that. You know, who knows?
Baby Pikmin. It's Olimar in the crib. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Interesting. Well, should we get on to staff picks then? I'm curious to know. Oh, I see. Oh, that's what you've been playing. That's a better pick. All right, I'll let you do yours first.
Yep. This is part of Ubisoft Plus, newly to Xbox. So yeah, it's Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, and this is a Metroidvania, and it's a very good game. I really love this game.
That was the one that came out like 2 years ago, right?
I think it was last year.
Last
Yeah.
year.
Yep.
I own
Yep.
it. I've
Really
never
last year.
played it. Bought it for Switch on clearance.
Yep. It's really good. It's you know, the amount of that I kind of shit on Hollow Knight, this does a lot of the kind of the same stuff that Hollow Knight does, but it
Sure.
gets rid of all the bullshit that I think Hollow Knight adds to increase difficulty or just for whatever reason. This moves fast. It's got good movement in it. It's got good skills. It's got good attacks. Good combat.
I like the art style.
Good
a
map.
lot.
Yeah, it's really good. I really like uh how they do certain things. There's when you find something that you're like, you know, in these type of games, oh, I see what I'm supposed to do here. I don't have the thing that I need to do to get it, right? You can like do what is essentially a screenshot, but it's in game to like it's called a memory.
Okay.
So you can say it's basically a screenshot and it saves it to the map saying, oh, so like when you're on the map, you can go see it and be like, oh, that's a thing that I can do now because I remember that this was, you need this thing to do that, you know?
That's pretty
It's really
smart.
smart in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been meaning to check that one out. I just haven't. And like, when you talk about Ubisoft, and I was making fun of the Assassin's Creed, like it's really sad that, I mean, granted, they were kind of cannibalizing Prince of Persia towards the end, where it was like annual releases, but it's kind of sad that Assassin's Creed just like killed that and refocused them into like we can't possibly like make two great, franchises back to back. So like, I don't know, it's cool to get a new one finally and get one that's a little bit different take. Like I liked the reimaginings that started coming out in like the GameCube, PS2, Xbox
Mm.
era. And I think even what they did up to the Xbox 360 with Prince of Persia was good, but like they just forgot about that franchise for well over a decade, which is bonkers because they sold well.
Yep. You wonder how many people think that game, playing this new game, is a spin-off of Assassin's Creed, which is
Yeah,
sad.
probably. Well, I mean, like when you think Ubisoft, like, I mean, if you're 20, that's probably all you know from Ubisoft is
Mm-hmm.
Assassin's Creed. But yeah, that's a cool one. I do want to play that eventually once I get my collection unboxed. That would be a good one to pop in my Switch too, since I've got nothing else to play on that.
Yeah. I think I'm probably going to finish that one.
Yeah,
Really good.
I heard a lot of good stuff about it, and then like it was like kind of a flash in the pan. Like everybody was talking about it, and then it was in clearance bins as true Ubisoft
Yep.
fashion goes, right? Because like it's a $60 game for 2 days, and then it's 12. So
Yeah. I've
my
also
staff.
been.
Oh, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say my staff pick is just a little more basic. So AFI put out that new record, which is very like prog goth punk or whatever, which I'm not into. But then I was like, well, I'm gonna listen to some of the older stuff, which I'm granted it's not the older stuff. It's kind of like when they went mainstream, but I've been listening to Sing the Sorrow a lot, which is the album they put out like in the early 2000s, right before, well, prior to December Underground, which I think is like where everyone knows them from. But it's a very good record. So I've been listening to that a lot as I've been boxing stuff up. So, definitely a little more like mainstream focus, but there's still some hardcore tracks in there and stuff. And I don't know. AFI is such an interesting band because like they were underground in the hardcore scene for so long. And I think this was like their sixth studio album where they finally went mainstream, major label. And then December Underground was so big and they like really lined up well with what was going on in like kind of the up and coming metal, like metalcore, like deathcore scene. Like honestly, like you can make some arguments, but I think Miss Murder might be like the first like MTV radio hit with screaming vocals and a breakdown that was like on constant radio play.
Yeah.
And granted, they weren't the only ones doing it, but it's just like you look back at their trajectory, and it's just like I don't know how they're not like a Green Day sort of like they should still be playing arenas. Like I don't know how they like fell off in the way they did. I mean, that's not true. I do know because like AFI has to reinvent what they are as a band almost every album. So I think you lose people when you do that. But like Green Day did some of that shit too.
Oh
And
yeah.
then you just go back and make like one album that everybody like thinks they want from your band and you're back on top. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's so weird because like everyone in like music loves AFI, but it's like they're so forgotten, I feel like, in the mainstream sense. So and they have great albums.
Yeah. It is kind of weird that because they were very popular for a very small amount of time, I would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, it
And
was like a
then
2-year run.
yeah. And yeah, they never did really, I don't even know if the next album really got even
Uh,
play the next time. You know what
yeah,
I
I think the
mean?
one
Which is
after
kind
that
of
was like
crazy.
Crash Love, and they like basically like nobody bought it, like commercial success done. And they continued making records since then, but yeah, I don't know.
But like you say, Green Day puts out stuff that isn't good,
Yeah,
and
they put out
they'll
like three
still keep
albums in a
playing the new
row.
stuff.
Right,
They won't play it long, probably,
right.
but they get play.
Yeah, they should in my mind, like if I should be up there with like the legacy like major punk acts that should still be able to headline or like be on major billing for like big studio or festivals, and it just didn't work out that way, which is weird because they have everything that makes a band like that great, including the good songs. And I don't know, it's weird.
Do you think the goth stuff kind of puts them in a time and place? Kind of, where
Yeah,
they kind of get out of that box?
sure, but then like how does how does the Black Parade solidify MCR for 20 years? You know what I mean? It's
It's
like
true. Yeah.
December Underground was there, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, you could make an argument too, like the Used, like they were up at that level too. And like you don't, you know, they put out multiple albums. You don't really hear people talking about the Used, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think Sing the Sorrow is like probably what people think of when they think of like the best AFI albums, but I think it's an interesting turning point in their career where they kind of like pivoted a little bit more away into the melodic stuff and more away from the hardcore, but still very, very good. I actually like it better than December Underground. So,
Mhm.
I don't know.
Hmm.
I'm probably not doing a good job of promoting AFI by saying like I don't like their new album, but the old one's really, really good. But,
That's most bands nowadays. I mean, most bands that you like, right?
yeah, that's true. Everybody's got their favorite.
Yeah. I'm Black Keys put out a new album, and they're one of my favorite bands, and they just don't have it anymore, you know? It's
Don't
just
tell
weird
Jack
how.
Black that, or he's gonna come to your house and just beat
Yeah,
you.
I know. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah,
That bands just kind of they'll keep going, keep putting stuff out, and I don't know. Maybe it's an old man thing where you're stuck in you just love the classics so much that you refuse to, even if the new stuff is good, even if it's maybe might not even be all that different, that you still is like, this is not it.
yeah. Jack White, sorry, not Jack Black. Jack Black probably doesn't care. Jack White is the one that doesn't like it. Yeah, they're one of those bands too. Yeah, and like the Hives put out a new album. It's like all these garage rock bands that are still doing it, and you're like, I haven't heard like you guys haven't been on the radio in like 20 years. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I think it's all the way the music industry is today. You know, it's just with album cycles not being what they are and radio not really being important. It's a very different thing.
Well, I mean, let's talk about Foo Fighters. Like that new stuff, that's not good. I don't think. What do you think? I mean, you're the big, massive fan, but
I mean, I used to think they were like the greatest band in the world, and I don't think I've genuinely liked an album from them since Wasting Light. I think that was like they nailed it after their prime, and like their last album I didn't like. I didn't like Concrete and Gold. I didn't like Sonic Highways. It's like,
but they get a play. I mean, they're still on top, getting plenty of airtime too. But
yeah, they're just kind of like I feel like they've become the Eagles. You know what I mean? It's like they'll always get people that show up, but like they're way past their prime. Like I just want to hear the 10 hits when you were relevant. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're dangerously close to Casino. Dave Grohl.
Yeah, any day now.
If you're having a good time with us at Weekend Rental, I think you might enjoy all the great geeky stuff found on the Geekade Podcast Network. They've got podcasts about games, music, movies, and more. Plus, if you order off their secret menu, also known as the Geekade Patreon, you just might find an exclusive movie podcast hosted by Ryan and myself. Check it out over at geekade.com. And hey, if you'd like to turn Weekend Rental into a true multimedia experience, our YouTube and Twitch channels might just be for you.
All right, should we get to the Weekend Rental?
Yeah.
All right, so the Weekend Rental, of course, we play a game for a given system. Andy and I will sink some time into it, then we'll give our opinion as to whether we would buy, rent, or burn that game. We are playing this episode, Mr. Driller 2. I think this came out in the arcade, but it was also on Game Boy Advance. And Namco Bandai thing, loosely based on Dig Dug, and it's more of a action puzzler. What did you think of this thing?
I mean, it's very similar to the first one. I mean, it's almost just, which is, the gameplay doesn't vary too much. You know what I mean? It's pretty much the same thing. The stuff around it is a little bit different, I guess, but I can't believe that this came out. Like I was surprised. I don't know why in my head I'm like, oh yeah, Mr. Driller too. Sure, let's do that. And then I started thinking about like I've never seen this game. Like all the time that we've been collecting and like I don't
Yeah,
did this come out? Like I was almost like this has to be a Japanese
Japan
thing. It
only,
never came
right?
out. No, it came out in 2005 after the DS version of Mr. Driller.
So weird.
And then, yeah, I looked it up tonight on eBay, and there's like 3 copies on the entire eBay of this
Expensive.
game. So, yeah, about $100. So, but for how rare that is, like you look, there's
Yeah,
plenty of other games, way more copies. So I would imagine this game, not many copies out there. Just, but demand's probably pretty low. I mean, it's
yeah.
Mr.
Well,
Driller.
and even like the first one is like somewhat uncommon, right? Like PlayStation,
Hmm.
Dreamcast. There was like I think it was kind of like a sought after um, WonderSwan color port as well. But it's like
Mm.
yeah, it wasn't even common to find the first one. I don't know too many people that had it or had played it, and I think my problem with these games is that like they're trying to pitch it to you almost as like a puzzle game. And there is some color matching and like some Tetrising stuff going on. But really it's just like a frantic action game where you have to just drill down as fast as you can. But then at the same time, because of that, death from above isn't always something you have control over. Like, how do you remember 8 blocks up that are now off screen
Right.
that if you knock this one thing out, the other thing's gonna come down and crush you and your run's over. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's all
It's
exacerbated by the oxygen mechanic. Where it's like we need you to drill down to 5,000 feet, but oh, also you're gonna run out of air. So if you don't get air, then you're gonna die. So you can't really like it's like this constant pressure to keep moving, which doesn't necessarily allow you time to think and strategize, which is
mhm.
core to what a puzzle game is. So it's like they kind of it's not that it's not fun. It's very action heavy, quick, and like, okay, one more run. But at the same time, you don't always feel like you're learning something because it feels almost impossible to in certain situations.
Yeah, especially yeah, like you said, when you're dying from things that are just falling from up above, and there's not many games, special puzzle games where combos make the game harder. Like
Right.
when you're making this game,
Right.
because the combos are the things that are like you're not accounting for
Yes.
happening and what usually kills you.
Yep.
So that's kind of an interesting take on that because most puzzle games, combos is what makes the game easier and clears your boards and stuff like that. Um, if you do go slower in this game, I mean, for the most part, once you far the harder levels and the farther you go down, it definitely gets into spots where you have to do combos to get your air
Yeah.
in certain cases, but early on when you're kind of just able to just go where you want to go, get over the air fine. It's a nice kind of enjoyable thing. Um the spots that do give you huge combos on purpose are fun.
Hmm.
Um but I think I enjoy this game the most as an arcade game for about 3 minutes where you just say, I'm drilling down straight down
Yes.
and gonna watch what happens.
Yes. I agree. And like that's definitely where the arcade roots of this series come into focus. And yeah, it very much feels like the thing that was intended to oh, at the end of your 3 lives, pop in another quarter to continue because
Yeah.
like you were saying, like combos, right? Like in a normal game, that would give you like a score boost and like you'd be running for high score too. But this is, at least in this version, is like pass or fail. Either you met the objective in the main mode or you
Hmm.
didn't. So regardless of how much you comboed or thought that through, it's not really doing anything for like your rating or progression. So it feels weird.
Yeah, it's almost like a skill to be how slow and methodical can you be without running out of air,
Right.
right?
Yeah. And then like I feel like inevitably the end of every round ends with you panicking because you don't have enough air. So then you're just like, all right, I got like 20 seconds left, so I'm just drilling straight down as fast as I can, and you die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird because it's like you don't want to be disparaging of the game because like it's got a lot going for it, but at the same time, like I don't know that I want to pick it back up and play it that often either. Like I couldn't imagine this being like my go-to pocket handheld game. You know what I mean? Like when I could play a Tetris or I could play a Puzzle League or even a Puyo Puyo. I mean,
Right.
granted, this is a little more like platformy feeling, but it's not satisfying enough in a platforming sense that I wouldn't rather just have like a better realized puzzle game, I think. Which this tries to blur the lines on for some reason.
Yeah. And even, even if you are setting up combos for certain things, it's not like you're really gaining too much either, because it might go down, you might make a bigger hole or clear out a section, but that gets you not too far. I mean, you're talking about how many blocks that you have to go through to
Yeah.
get to your objective, it's not going to really add up. I suppose you almost have to, in the really hard levels, do that. And maybe there is some strategy to that, and replay where you really have to figure that out. I don't know if the colors and the blocks are all the same. Be fun to watch a speed run of the people that have figured out the
Figure this out.
exact
Yeah.
path through all of this stuff perfectly. It would probably just be them falling into open air constantly because it's just blocks breaking everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there's either something I don't get with this game or it's just the intended purpose to like be frustrating and be like, all right, next run, I'm coming back. You know what I mean? Because, yeah, I mean, it's a simple premise. Like, drill down this many feet, you win. But I don't know. Even with the rewind feature on some of those harder stages, I felt myself like, this isn't worth it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to get this.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're some of them get pretty tricky, and there are a lot of people that are very outspoken about this franchise too, and
Sure.
I don't see where it can go. The fandom can get that. I mean, how can you be that into this game? I don't know.
Yeah, especially like you said, like this is supposedly a sequel, but I don't know what got added over the prior one. Like, I mean, granted, I
A
haven't
second
spent a lot of time with
character,
either,
probably?
but yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what the 2-player mode is. This one has 2-player
It
apparently.
does,
I don't
yeah.
know how that works, but
Yeah,
that
I
could
was
be
reading something
interesting.
about how there's supposedly like a Japanese exclusive GameCube version that is supposed to be like praised for it doing like some stuff differently, but
Huh.
I don't know.
Could you imagine 2-player in this game though? That would be, I mean, you would constantly be screwing over the other person. They'd be somewhere and you would hit a block on the other side that would knock everything down on top of them.
Yeah,
It'd
because
be
you assume
fun.
it'd be like a battle back and forth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Be chaotic.
Well, I was thinking in the same well.
Oh,
but
in the
that would
same
be,
well? God.
yeah, that would be
Yeah, that'd be
a
hell.
nightmare.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about this one. Presentation's good, controls are good. I just don't know if the gameplay is as rounded out and thought out as they intended.
Yeah. Wait, what is the Dig Dug connection? Like, I mean,
Well, I
I
was
know
reading
it's
that
always been
initially.
something, but
Yeah, I was reading initially this was started up as the intention of being Dig Dug Part 3. So that's where the origins are from. They obviously didn't stick with that branding, but the basis is there, which makes sense in the weapon, right? Like it's that Dig Dug like pointy little dagger thing. But
yeah.
without the enemies, it feels totally different. So,
I mean, in the second one, you're breaking off continents, and now I have to dig block by block. This
Right.
kind of sucks.
bullshit.
Yep.
So what do you think you give this thing on the Byron Burn scale?
Oh gosh, yeah, can I rate the arcade version? Because I really like the arcade version a lot better. Because I think that's what this is meant for, is just to play for 3 minutes and have a good time and see all the colorful characters and
Hmm.
Powerpuff Girl style or whatever they're trying to go for. But I think on a Game Boy Advance with no light backlight
Oh
and
God, I
all
didn't even think
this, it
about
would
that.
be it's got to be a burn.
Yeah.
This is a cash grab. I mean, why are they putting this out after the DS is out? I don't know.
Yeah, I'll give it a rent because I think this is probably their jam. This isn't my
Oh
jam.
yeah,
It's not fundamentally broken in any way. It's just also not great. So yeah, rent it is for me. But yeah, I'm never gonna play it again. That's for sure. So
I mean, once you get that the one time that you just dig down like crazy and everything falls and you at the last second jump out of the way, like that
yeah,
feels really good in this game. It's a higher high than a
yeah.
lot of other games, but it doesn't come fast enough or
And,
good enough
and that
because you
jump
get
out
screwed most of the time.
animation too, like where he just like pitches himself on the ground and like there's a little sound
Yeah.
effect. It's pretty cool. But yeah. Definitely a long way from a buy, that's for sure.
Yep.
Well,
That'll do it. Well, I'll be waiting for Mr. Driller 3 in the meantime, I guess. That'll
sounds
come
like an
out on the
invite. Sounds like an invite to come knocking on your door, Andy.
that'll that'll be on DS. They'll release that on DS here pretty soon, I'm sure. But we have a email address at weekendrentalpodcast@gmail.com. Tell us why we're wrong. I know at least somebody listening has way higher views of Mr. Driller than us.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd love to hear why we're wrong. We're on Twitter and also on the Geekade Podcast Network, where we have a monthly movie podcast exclusively on their Patreon. So check out all the podcasts on there. And if you want to hear more from us, sign up for the Patreon. But until next time, be kind, rewind.
Bananas.